Hello again everyone and welcome back. This is part 2 of our Polar Lights 1/350 scale Enterprise refit build-up. And you can see here in the picture that over the last couple days I've made a little bit of progress on this. After we did our initial planning phase in the original video there, we came back and started doing some of this work, and I'm happy to say that things are going along really well. This is my little Arboretum, and you can see I've done some work to this. On the side walls here you can see the nice photo etch parts from Paragrafix installed there, and they really add some really nice detail to this. I really like how that turned out. And I used our little trees that we talked about from the HO scale railroading kit, and basically what I did there is, as I mentioned, I had to cut those down considerably because they were way out of scale for this, and I wound up just using some of the branches. And you can see here from the profile that you can see the nice tree trunks and the branches spreading out here and there. Give some nice detail on that. And then our grass there at the bottom, what I wound up doing to get that in there is I just took some canopy glue on a paintbrush and painted the little areas there that I wanted it to stick to. I scraped that off of that sheet that I showed you that I had of the grass and just sprinkled it on there. And once I got that done, I just kind of tapped on it on the surface here, and all the excess fell off. There were a little bit of uneven spots here and there. So what I did is I went with my hobby knife, just kind of went around there and cleaned all that up, kind of manicured it. I don't know if Scotty's the guy that has to do that on the ship in space or not, but that'd be kind of weird mowing the lawn in space, huh? So anyway, you can see here too that we've got our water in there now, and that turned out really cool. And what I did with that is I saw a little post over at our sci-fi model action forums. One of the guys over there, Daniel, is doing a build-up at the, of his refit. And what he did with this is he cut that area out with a Dremel tool, and then he went in and put some blue painter's tape on the bottom side of that, and then filled it up with some acrylic and let it dry. And that's exactly what I did as well, and I'm really pleased with the result. It gives a nice, really deep effect, and that water looks nice and aqua blue, and it's more three-dimensional than being just flat. So that added a nice effect to it. And then there you can see I added some rocks around here and there and did a little bit of weathering painting on them and things. And I added some up here by the waterfall. I painted a little bit of foam detail on that waterfall to make it look sort of real. And it's a shame that you won't be able to see this too well once it's inside the model, but hopefully I can get my glass nice and clear on the side of that. And all that little work there that I did will be worth it. But I'm really pleased with the Arboretum so far, so we got that pretty much out of the way. And then what I've been doing next is I started working on these flux chiller grills and my nacelles to figure out my lighting on them. And so it turned out that what I did first on this is I just painted them entirely black, and I used some flat sandpaper and I sanded these down so that I just left the little black lines in the center, the recessed areas. And I thought that looked pretty good. Well, when I posted some pictures of it over on the Sci-Fi Model Action forums, I got some feedback on it. One of the guys that's also building a refit over there, Matt, mentioned to me that that's actually backwards of what they're supposed to be. The lighting is actually supposed to shine through these narrow areas, and these bigger, wider areas are supposed to be covered up. So I thought that was interesting. So what I did is I went and sanded them and cleaned them all back up, and then I went over to the hobby store and I found this little thin masking tape by Testers. It comes in a 3-pack. I don't remember what size this is, but this is the smallest one in the pack, and it turned out to be perfect to mask these little small recessed areas here inside. And so while we were talking about this whole thing, one of the other guys, Mark Fraley, mentioned on there and put up a nice picture of the original studio model as it was seen in the motion picture. And these grills, which I've always thought were painted black, are actually a very dark violet or dark purple color. So I did some paint mixing around here like I like to do, and I came up with this color, and I think it's a really, really close match to the color that they appear in that photo. And I also wanted to light these in violet, and they were originally lit in violet. If you look at some of that, there's a couple scenes in the during the motion picture where they show the engines, and they are actually violet. There's been a lot of discussion about that back and forth, but the engines appear blue later on, and they were using filters or just the way they appeared, but they're actually always violet. And so we're going to light these in violet too. Now my problem is that I don't have any violet LED tape, but I'm going to fix that, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that here in a little bit. What I've done with these pieces here is I've light blocked these on the inside with first some black and then some white to bounce my light around really good. Let me pull this tape off here. I like to cover those little mounting pegs up because they fit so tightly that even a little bit of paint on those, when you go to squeeze them together, that'll catch on there and make them really hard to go together. So we kept those nice and clean. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over to my soldering area and I'm going to solder up my LED tape. I'll show you I'm doing that next. And we'll get our LED tape ready. And then we're going to do a little bit of trick painting on that. We're going to change that from a white LED to a purple LED. Then we're going to mount this inside this nacelle. And I'll talk about how I'm going to do that. And we'll get it wired up and we'll do a nice test lighting on that and show you what it all looks like lit up. We'll be right back with that. Stay tuned. Okay guys, well here we are all set up and you can see what I've done here is I've got my LED tape. This is just standard white. This LED tape here is some really good stuff. I'll put up the link here on the screen about where to get this at. You can buy this stuff for about $1 a foot with free shipping. The company's called ledwholesalers.com. I'm pretty much using them exclusively now. I think they're really good quality, and the price, you just can't beat it. And I use a lot of this tape, so it just makes sense for me to find the best prices I can get. So let me go through the routine here. I've showed some of you guys this before, but I've got a few requests on how I'm setting these up again, so let's just take a look here. What I've got to do is tin my solder iron real quick, and we're just gonna use some of my my magnet wire here that I like to use so much. And you can see you don't have to strip this stuff at all. That's the really unique thing about this. I really like it. If you got a good hot solder iron, I just tinned that already. I didn't have to do any stripping on it. And I'm gonna, since this LED tape is marked plus and minus, I'm using my red wire on this side, and I'm gonna make sure I leave plenty of extra wire there, because that's got to come all the way down out of that nacelle, down the pylon, and into the main body of the model. And I don't want to make any splices in it. So I took care of that, and now we're going to use my dark green, which I use for my negative. And the same thing here, I've got a little bit of fresh solder on my tip, so this should tin really nice and easy. Get the right edge of it up here. Okay, as soon as you see that little puff of smoke come off of it, you can tell it's tinned. And then this stuff works really good, especially if you have a nice solder iron. See how I just barely touched that? This stuff is not hard to solder at all once you get used to it, and you have to have a good iron and all that. And of course, one of the things that I really like too about this LED tape versus some of the others that I've used is that, let me see if I can get a tight shot of this for you here without it blurring too much. You see how it has those nice contact tips there on the end, nice big brass tips, buttons there. That's really nice. Some of the other LED tape out there doesn't have that. It has these really small terminals that are really easy to burn off. So this is some good quality stuff. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to take this tape over to my spray booth area, and I'm just going to spray this down with some purple paint, the same purple that I mixed up for my flux chiller grills there, and I'm going to dust over this. And then what's going to happen is when our light casts through that, it's going to glow nice and purple, and then that bouncing off that wall on the back of the nacelle there that's been painted white, it's going to light this up really nice and give us a nice purple effect, a violet effect, just like I'm looking for. So let me head over to the booth here real quick, get this sprayed, and bring it right back, and I'll show you how it turned out, and we'll put it all together. Hey there guys, well we're back, and we're back over to the bench here, and you can see that what I've done here, it looks kind of crude, but this is going to work out really, really well. Once I laid this LED tape down in here, I just dusted over it with some purple, and we have it all ready to go now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap my my lens in here, being careful not to scratch it, and got that all laid in there. We'll connect the two halves together. I'll have my wires going out the front there since we don't have the Bussard collector scoop in there yet. And let me get this propped up here for you. Oops, let me get this setting just right. It doesn't want to sit very well. Okay, and let me change the camera angle here. And I'll kick off this overhead light. Let me connect this to power real quick for you here, and we should get a nice effect going on. Just have to twist these wires together real fast. Okay, I got the positive on there. And here we go. All right. Well, there's our nacelle. And let me crank this down just a little bit. You can see it's all lit up really nice and even. And that's just beautiful. That's the exact violet that I was hoping for. Let me go ahead and kick the lights off here for you so you can see what kind of brightness that's giving. The camera may wash it out just a little bit. But that is gorgeous, and it is looking sort of white in the middle in the picture here. It's scrubbing it out a little bit, but it's a beautiful shade of violet. If I can, yeah, the camera's just gonna, it's not gonna handle it. But trust me, it's a really, really nice shade of violet, and I really, really am pleased with that. So that's just a way that you can do this if you choose. You could do the same thing if you wanted to light those in blue. If you only had some white LED tape, you could actually get a little bit deeper effect there too if you wanted to go ahead and just lightly mist over some paint on the back side of that lens. But I think I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm really pleased with it. So now all I have to do on the rest of this is wire up for my beacons in the back here and my RCS thrusters and the two little spotlights there at the front. So I'm pretty pleased with that. That's going to wrap it for this update, guys. I appreciate you following along. I'm having a blast working on this. I'm going to be working on some of the interior rooms in the next video, working on the rec deck and the officer's lounge. I'll show you how that's going to turn out. And then we're going to be moving on to some of the big areas of the model. I'm going to be doing my light blocking and beginning the paint work on the saucer and the secondary hull parts and all the other big parts that need to be prepped. And I'll have a little announcement along the way of this build a little ways. I have a big surprise coming up on this one that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So stay tuned. We'll see you out there for the next video. Happy modeling, guys, and take care.